fresh up off of work. But I was reading through the comments and stuff like that on, other like sales videos and all that. I'm not really this channel's not really about sales, but that's something that really helped me. It's more about mental health, you know what I mean, and like mental health and like like my journey. But I will tell you, like I said in that video, that sales job really helped your boy out. So I want to talk to you about a life lesson that I learned from sales, that I briefly mentioned in that video. And the life lesson is a term I coined. I think I coined it. It's called customer profiling. And I learned that, I developed that. Again, it's probably a thing that's done. I just think I might have like a weird, unique name for it. I don't know. But it's something that I did. I hope it helps you guys, but it helped me in life. It turned from, when I left sales, right? I'm in automotive. I just got off work actually right now. Anytime you see me, dusty ass, black shirt, beanie, all that, I just got off work. But anyway, it helps me just in life. I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but I believe that a lot of times you can, and I believe it's okay to judge a book by its cover if you have your finger pinched on that first page. Like if you're ready to read that full book at the drop of a dime, then you're okay on judging a book by its cover if you're not going to treat a person a certain way. So let me explain, right? So on the job that I had, I would, I was selling product to people that had somewhat of an interest, right? I've had jobs where I sold to people that did not have interest at all over the phone. I've done it physically, in person. I've done it also over, online as well. You go to a site that I created, and I can persuade you to buy just with the text that I typed, right? A thing I did called affiliate marketing, right? So okay, customer profile, right? So here's my process in customer profiling. Those of you in the sales world that are big in the sales world, you might even like have an actual term for it. Hopefully you do. So here's what I would do. I'm trying to remember. So if I put myself back into the like mindset of like where I was, I get to location, right? Boom, I'm at location. I got my clipboard and everything, and it's got a bunch of BS on it that you don't use for sales. It's stuff that engineers and people, professionals and shit like that are like, oh, this is what you got to say to an owner. Never said that. The profiling was me customizing my sales process and my sales pitch on a customer by customer base. I see a customer is there, him and his wife, I would scan and I'm looking at how he's dressed, right? Because again, I was selling audio equipment, right? I'm looking at how he's dressed, right? I'm looking at how she's dressed. I'm looking at how he handles her, right? Because for those of you that don't know, when a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend or female and male in general, when they walk in, any couple that walks in, not even gender specific, when a couple walks in, you immediately see who is the decision maker and who doesn't care. There's always one. There's a person in that duo that could care less or goes with the flow. They're like, whatever you like is what I like, right? So I identify that. I'm looking at the way that they're dressing. I'm looking at the way that they're walking. I'm looking at, they're playing with the radios and stuff. What music are you playing? I'm looking at the price point. Usually what would happen was the one person on the duo would be looking at one thing, right? And the other person would be just browsing, right? Now, what would happen is one person would have their hands on the knobs and they're looking through, right? And in my mind, what that showed me was that one person was a little bit more interested and a little bit more motivated. So that was my lead, right? That was my lead. Yeah, they'd be playing around with the changing the music, they find the song they want to hear. And then I'd watch them like through the glass, like as I'm preparing to go out and getting stuff ready and, you know, making sure I'm logging in and all that kind of. Sometimes I'd be clocking in, like I would just be getting to work and there's already a fish. There's already a fish on the line. There's already a bite, right? So I'm hungry at that time, right? What? I'm hungry. So, you know, that's what that is. So boom, I would see the that scenario happen, right? And now I'm ready to pounce. So now I'm ready to get it in. So what do? Boom. I go out into the sales floor, right? And now I'm kind of looking to see who looks at me. So what would happen a lot of the times, and if I'm honest, is that's when you get the motivated buyer. So if you're ever questioning like who's motivated, it's the person that approaches you. So if the woman approaches me, right, and this is if there's a man and a woman, right? This is as an example. They might not be husband and wife. They could be boyfriend and girlfriend, or they could be in some sort of relationship. They could just be friends. If there is a male there, right, you and a woman there, usually, and this is just stereotypically, what'll happen is the female will look to the male for validation on that purchase. A lot of the times, you might not know this, but he's in her world, the golden standard for whatever, like whatever industry that you're looking in. You know, I work the audio, so this might be a guy that did audio 15 years ago and he knows cars, right? He could be her mechanic friend, right? All that kind of stuff. You never know. I'm looking at age too, right? Because when I'm looking at age, I'm looking at the type of music that they listen to, and that'll let me know, again, what I'm selling. So I'm going to stop real quick and kind of go over the mindset. This is me freestyling if I'm looking back at how things were. Gender doesn't matter. Gender only matters when they start doing that stereotypical shit, right? Oh, he knows about it. I don't know much about it. That bullshit, right? In reality, you want something and he's the only person that cares about the intricacies of the shit that, you know what I'm saying? That's really what it is, right? So you got age, you got who's most interested. You have to identify the buyer, right? And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about who the real buyer is, right? And you have to look at what their interests are. What you're doing is you're developing a sales pitch specifically for them. And people don't talk about this because not everybody gets enough time to do it. What I'm doing right now is telling you what I did before I talked to the person. Now, while you talk to somebody, you should also be creating the profile or finishing it up, right? Boom. By the time you're finished with the profile, you should be heading to the cash register. That should be it. From a sales point, boom, you're heading to the cash register. That means you're finalizing a sale. You're scheduling them for a visit. You're setting up a service. You are, whatever the sale or the product, whatever it is you're doing, it should be at the time where you're getting ready to take card. You're getting ready to take payment, right? Boom. So now that I've kind of developed a person has approached me, now I know who the motivated, who wants the product, right? So now I got to find out at that point in time, who am I selling to though? Right? So I'm using a woman and a man let's actually say they're a married couple, right? Everybody's not going to be a married couple, but if there's a stereotypical dynamic, meaning woman goes, oh, I don't know about this shit, and the guy's like, oh, I'm a guy, so right? In reality, he doesn't know much more than she does. He's just a guy. There's that bullshit happens all day. You got the cavemen in every facet of life, right? So now I've identified the person that's interested, right? So if she comes up to me and goes, hey, how much do you know about all the audio stuff? Right? Or I have a couple questions. she has a couple questions. That right there is a buyer, obviously, right? This person is the person that calls you. If you're doing phone sales, they call you, right? If you're selling in a store, they entered into the store and walked up to you. If you're, whatever you're doing, it's the person that you can tell obviously is the buyer, right? So the next thing you're looking for is who you need to be selling to, right? Now, a lot of times in my experience, the guy would just kind of sit there and keep playing with the knobs. He'll give you a little look, right? And she'll be talking to you. And what he's doing is he's listening to find out where the BS is. So he's listening for anything he thinks is a lie, or if you're getting over on her or anything like that. Because his job is to kind of protect in that matter. That's what he thinks his job is, right? If you're an upstanding salesman, you're not getting over on her because you think because she's a girl she doesn't know. In reality, she could be the ex-technician. Don't know. You don't know if anybody knows at all what they're doing. Like, they could all be green, super green, and you don't know. So fast forward, you're telling her about the different things, and she starts to tell you about the kind of car she has, right? I did automotive. I did vehicle electronics, right? So she tells me, oh, she's got a 1999 Honda Civic. I don't know, whatever, right? And I just want. It just doesn't sound good. What are you missing? Are you missing low end bass? Are you missing mids or highs, right? And they'll let you know. And usually what will happen is they'll say everything. If they say everything, then now they need a full system, right? So your job now is to find out in your mind, which way to go in terms of a price, right? So for me, this is just how I did it. And I was most successful at starting low and going high. The reason I say that is if I start you off with the most expensive product, what you'll end up doing is trying to find something a little bit cheaper that does the same thing, right? So you end up trying to work me down. If I start off low and build the value in what's more expensive, if there's value in it, you have to know the value in it. If you don't trust your product, they won't, right? It worked out better for me. So, example, there's let's say there's a $500 Alpine subwoofer speaker or 5-channel amp, whatever, right? And then there's 20% off accessories, right? And different things she might need for that whole system to be installed in the car. Boom, right? In my mind, I start building that in my mind, whatever. So my next question is, what kind of music do you listen to? Do you have anything installed now? These types of questions. What I'm doing is I'm speaking loudly so that the guy can hear it, right? He feels added to he'll end up feeling added to the discussion. So my trick was to always get him or her, depending on the scenario, right? But back into the conversation. You came with this woman. Come on back in. Stop doing that weird Inspector Gadget shit where you're off in the cut, acting weird and pretending you're not listening, right? Come be in this scenario. I'm selling to all you guys. Matter of fact, I want you to have a system and her to have a system when you walk out, right? And be scheduled for a whole system installation. So I'll make eye contact because he'll make eye contact at some point. He'll look over, right? And I'll get him back to me. Now I need to figure out who I'm selling to. And they go, okay, how long you been doing this? Oh, I've been installing systems and selling them for the past 5 years. I don't know, right? Oh, really? I used to do it back in the day. Boom, that's who you're selling to. Okay? So what'll happen is they'll have certain questions to ask you that they've been waiting to ask you. Now they're comfortable to ask you the questions, right? And what'll happen if what you say is true, if what you think is true, if this is actually what's really going on, she'll kind of move to the side because she's like, my man got this now, right? So that's who you're selling to. If he's confident in the purchase, she'll purchase it. That's just the reality of the scenario, right? This is me going through a whole process of customer profiling. So we've asked questions, year, make, and model. Do you have anything installed currently? These are all examples of questions to ask, right? But take these questions and think about the types of questions you'd ask in place of these questions in your own field, right? So boom. You like my So Boom, So Bay, So Northern California. So you feel me? So yeah. So that process goes, let's say we close, let's say everything's good, and you focused on both of them and you answered their questions. I like to bring everybody together and make everybody feel like a team. If they both walk out of the store in agreement to buy something, not just one person, what happens is less people have a talk on the way home and decide to not do it and come back the next day and return everything early in the morning before you get there, right? You find out you're negative. You know what I mean? So again, because it's ethics, right? So that is just a slight example of how I profile customers. So if I take that, you have to develop that for your own industry, right? If I take that, right, and I think about like just life, if I start conversations with people, like now when I talk to a customer, right, I develop like a customer profile. I can look at your demeanor. I can look at the look on your face. I'll usually say one thing to you. My hi, how we doing? How's your morning going? How's this? Is a way for me to gauge your temperament. It's to gauge how much you want to talk. If you're in a hurry, everything. I'm looking for accents. I'm looking for everything because I'm looking to try to relate to you. That's what I'm looking for. So that's how I do it now. In real life, I use it to see if you're the kind of person that is going to be difficult to get along with, challenge everything I say, I'm going to get into a dispute with, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? From a mental health standpoint, it helps because now I know I can study somebody and tell, no, they're going to be taxing. Like, do you guys know people, right? And let me know in the comments if you've ever met somebody that you have to get ready to be around. Like, oh man, Mike's coming, I got to drink a beer, right? Or, oh man, John's coming, I got to drink a beer. Like I don't know if you do, but again, this is just, like I said, this is just me kind of letting you know how things work for me. So I've taken that skill that I learned from sales, and now I can watch, engage you, and see if it's even worth the energy to be social with you. Because I don't have much social energy in the tank, man. Not these days, not with the social anxiety scenario, right? So, shit, that was tiring right there. So that was just me, man, telling you the different games that I've gotten. I won't do too many sales videos, you guys. I'm not really, like I said, that's not my focus. My focus is mental health. But the views have been coming into the sales video. That's not, I guess that's my fault. I don't know. But I want you guys to I want anybody in sales to be, profitable and happy. Like hopefully in sales, hopefully that keeps you motivated and you're ready to tear shit up, make those numbers, hit quota, hit goal, kill revenue or kill charts or destroy, region or, whatever terminology you use, it's the same thing. You do this, you get pizza, whatever. You get a shitty pizza from somewhere. So that's how it goes, man. I hope y'all progress through life and hope your sales goals are hit. Anything else I gotta say? No, I'm gonna holler at you.